Hey, good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. It is another day. The market's about to open. It's about 15 minutes away, 15 and a half minutes away. And let's get started with our morning Monster update. I don't drink coffee, I drink Monster. Funny little quirk about me. Anyway, let's get going, shall we? So, kicking it off, disclaimer as always, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. I mean, don't risk money that you can't afford to lose in the markets because you may lose it. Hey, Kevin, you know what? Past performance, no way indicative of any kind of future results. This thing could all burn down tomorrow. The presentation right here intended to be informational, educational, fun, not a recommendation to buy or sell anything. You desire that personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor. Anyway, jumping over to the charts. Yeah. First off, let's look at this. Yesterday was a holiday, of course. I think we all, celebrating our dead president society. And today, nothing really. We got the Flash Services PMI coming up here in just a short bit. Morning, Keenan. And not really much mover today for news. We do have the FOMC minutes tomorrow at 2 p.m. That may be a little market mover. They've got it flagged red on Forex Factory's calendar. We'll find out what they had to say in the minutes and whether they're more hawkish or more dovish, as they call it. So hawkish means they're going to be more aggressive with raising the rates and generally interpreted as bearish for the markets. And dovish is softer on their policy and generally looked at as being positive for the rates. If you're unfamiliar with those two terms, that's kind of what they mean when they refer to that in the mainstream media. But I don't know. We'll see if it actually has any bearing. So looking on down, we have preliminary GDP on Thursday coming out before the market. To me, that could be more of a weight on the market than the minutes. But I don't know. Together, we'll see what happens. Also coming up on Friday, we have core PCE, and we'll talk about that on Friday when we get there. So these things are coming up. Beware that it's not a major news week, but we do have some news coming in still. So let me pull up let's see if I can find my chart really quickly. Oh, cool. My Discord reloaded. All right. Let me pull this chart up. Pull it over. We've got this one right here. This is the futures, and we are lower than at any point last week. So drifting off lower. Looks like 40.36 would be our kind of next line in the sand here. And let me pull up one more chart. I didn't have these up beforehand. That was cool. And zipping down here, grabbing this other chart. Drag it over, pop it in. This one right here. I mean, I've been showing this one for at least a month, if not 2 months. I used to have another path on here, and when we broke above the purple line, I took it off. So this path right here is the most likely path. And as we broke down below the box on Friday, jumping back over to the SPX chart, that range we had on February 7th, we broke below it on Friday, and I expect this thing to push on down. Now, can we find support at the roadmap line here, the daily, or are we going to come all the way down and test the trend line, which is very similar trend line to this chart right here? This is from Motive Wave, which does Elliott Wave stuff a lot better, which throws these fibs on here. So we may hold at that looks like the 3-day roadmap line and the 1-day roadmap line, generally in the same vicinity, right there around that 40, 27, 40, 30 area. Could hold there. That dashed line represents kind of the top of the roadmap line. And if we don't, we could come down to the 50% retrace around 39.75 or the 618 down here around 39.24. All those valid. And I'm kind of leaning toward this as being my ideal spot, right down there around 39.24-ish. Could poke a little below, try to push into into that trend line. Just like we did over here, we tried to push up and got rejected hard. We could try to push down and get rejected hard up. And that may become on the FOMC minutes or, you know, that Q, the GDP number. So just be cautious. You know, the account you protect may be your own. So you can see how it lines up right here. We could find support. Oh, look, 39.80. So yeah, it kind of matches that 50% retrace. And then on down here around 39.75-ish. And this purple line's a little different. Trading View conveniently moves it around. You can see it's down from those highs. Gotta keep adjusting this thing back up here. There we go. So my Trading View went off just a little bit. The black chart, the motive wave, is locked in. It doesn't get adjusted by motive wave. So, all right, that's kind of the S&P path. The futures are looking a little low. Like, look at that, coming right on down. I added a little protection on Friday with some SPXS, and looks like that was a smart play, breaking below that low. Last week I said we don't usually bottom on a Friday. Well, we didn't get the lower low on Monday or Tuesday, but we are getting it now. So I was cautious that low wouldn't hold. So NASDAQ also coming down to the roadmap line. Looks like moving on down. Russell may also come down to that roadmap line. So watch out there. Dollar popping one more time. Can it actually hit the roadmap line this time? We'll find out. But that would be the resistance above, and that's going to suck the market down a little bit. As we do that, we may push up, try to push through, and then roll over again. That's my primary expectation at this point. Look at that. I'm just going to keep tracking this SI for a little bit. Looks like getting a pullback there. We could, we could pull back down into this 14-15 area one more time, at least. Now this is a longer-term short squeeze battle of the hedge funds deal. If you're unfamiliar with what I was talking about, go watch some of the videos from last week, later in the week when I started following this. I'm looking for a big pop out of this thing. It's the most shorted stock on the Russell 3000. So looking at actual stuff moving. Walmart getting slammed back to this trend line and kind of below it. So if it can hold the trend line, that's positive. If it can't, it's probably going to revisit these lows down here. Probably revisit the roadmap line too. So that was the high, and we popped above. Couldn't get above this top we made over in here, this consolidation, this top, and we rolled over on earnings. Even though beating on the top, beating on the bottom, the outlook just was not good, and the market's not liking that. Kind of the same with Home Depot here. Was pushing on that trend line, getting smacked down today, back below the roadmap line. That's not a great sign for continuation higher right now. Now we could just get a deeper retrace, and it could be like a 618 retrace off of this low to this high. We could find support right around this 297 to 300 area. That would be a good spot, and then bounce, and that would be kind of bullish, especially if we break back above this high right here, back above this guy right there. MDT also rejecting off of the roadmap line. Just back to the lows though from the last couple days. Holding there is bullish. If we can break back above this high right here, it's game on for Medtronic. We got that high right there. I mean, predictable stuff right here. It's kind of funny how resistance once, resistance twice. Got to get some energy to break through it though. You can just get a wild hair and start breaking through, and then we've got another resistance right up here. But right now, rejecting off the roadmap line is bearish. So caution on that one. The expected support, and that was one big move up. So look for support right in this zone right around here. If it breaks down below those lows, if it holds support here, it's bullish. If it breaks down below probably about 80, then I'd look for it to return back to the low around 75 again. Tap, announcing earnings, but not really moving. So beating on the top, beating on the bottom. I guess Molson-Coors. It's all it's all your sister, babe, drinking all that Coors. Anyway, we were giving her a hard time this weekend about having Coors in her fridge. Nothing against it, just giving her a hard time about it. She's not traditionally been much of a beer drinker. APLS, getting a nice little pop. Looks like they've got earnings coming up. But looks like they're going to lose money. So estimated lose, and I don't know. Popping on something today. Looks like FDA approval of a new drug that nobody knows how to say. Cyber for whatever is, and nobody knows. Ask your doctor if Cyforviro is right for you, I guess. And probably causes pregnancy in men or something. I don't know. I'm just joking. Let's see. SGML, Sigma Lithium. Yeah, nice pop on that. If we can break above these highs, that would be positive. Otherwise, we may reject again. Be cautious on that. There is a resistance zone right up there. TMV popping just a touch. It's a bear for, let's say, daily 20-year 20-year treasury bear, 3x leverage. Be careful on that. We can reverse on those treasuries. The resistance is right there. VIR, nice bounce. It's got to break above these highs. I mean, look, we got resistance coming all the way across there. Once, twice, 3 times, my lady. And can we break out or break down? I don't know. That one just sideways for now, even though it's moving a bit. Meta. If we can break back above this little blob right here, break back above that. Gap fill, baby. Game on for the gap fill. Otherwise, I would expect it to retrace that roadmap line eventually here. So nice little pop though, a couple bucks, but that's still in the territory where it can just drift back down and fill that gap up and touch the roadmap line one more time. TECK, well, trying to break out, trying its darndest. Watch for a breakout. That's clear error. If we break out, and it can get a heck of an extension here. Running the fib line on this retrace right there puts us up to 51 or 59. So, ASML probably going to come back to the roadmap line. It just looks like it's about to roll over back to the roadmap line. Now, back to the roadmap line. Classic price action. Needs to find support and bounce. Cost. Stuck in this stupid wedge triangle thing. I've talked about this on 30 Minutes of Awesome a few weeks. It just, God, it's like the most horrible looking chart. I mean, look at this. It just lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low. At some point it's going to break up or down, but it's just squeezing into a tighter and tighter range, and that is unpredictable. Anybody that tells you they know for sure which way this is going is full of malarkey, bull crap. So I would be very cautious on this. It can break down very, very, very easily, even if things are looking positive for Costco. Lowe's, feeling sympathy for Home Depot, and their earnings are coming up, looks like next week. So watch out on that one. Today is a sympathy move down for Home Depot, and we hold in this roadmap line area and this black line that's been kind of a support resistance flip point. Then we may pop on the earnings next week. PDD, China Trash, looks like it needs to come back down to the roadmap line. And I don't trade China because I've burned my fingers on every China stock I've ever touched. So JD also making the news here and getting a pullback. And I bet Baba didn't make my search tool, but also getting a pullback right to the roadmap line like I predicted. Watch for Baba to hold that area. If it breaks down below there, it can go back and revisit the low, even though China's reopening. It's exciting and tons of money, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, China is dangerous. Don't touch it. And also, sympathy for Walmart. We see Target pulling back to the roadmap line, making the mover list, and they've got earnings coming up next week also. So, all right. Well, that's kind of the outlook for the day. We got the market opening in about 10 seconds or so. And good luck out there. Looks like we're going lower today. A little bit biased. We can find support at the roadmap line and bounce, so watch for that. Russell is down, gapping down into the open, IWM. That is a potential gap fill play. It tends to do it 70% of the time. It's got a nice long, like $2.50 gap, it looks like. Be careful if you chase that one. Remember, I got 30 minutes of awesome coming up at 5 p.m. I will take all of your requests and try to hit as many charts as I can. Usually it lasts 45 minutes or so to get everybody's requests. So come back tonight, 5 p.m., and we'll get your stuff live. You can ask me all the questions you want. So hope to see you then. Bye, everybody, for now. Have a safe day out there trading.